welcome back everyone. We're back down in the losers bracket here, bringing you game one of this round. The winner of this match is going to move on to the losers bracket final to face off against OSS, and then the winner of that one will be headed on to the grand final. But before we get there, we're going to have to duke it out on QAI Prototype Facility, and we'll go ahead and introduce the players. Starting here as the orange Aeon commander, it is Osmos, who has dropped down a quick air factory and is moving his ACU towards the center. And his teammate, it is AA main Cybran main Cybran. It's Vanity. And together they are Aeon lovers. The Aeon lovers, I guess. They are, I don't know, maybe they are Aeon lovers, but their team name is the Aeon lovers. And their opponents, starting down here as the red Aeon commander, we have AA Carboom, who has dropped down no research stage. He hasn't dropped down any factories yet. What is he doing? Full eco for this guy right over here. And his teammate, spawning in as the blue UEF commander, it is Rainbows and Unicorns, who's gone pretty eco-heavy here and is now starting off a couple of air factories. Going to be behind on the air production, but she is getting a scout off, so she's going to see that both of the opponents have gone air. And together, these two over here are Rainboom. So, game one here, ooh, TML. Okay, so that's where all those resources were going. That's pretty nasty. This factory, I don't know, the shield on this factory would not quite cover that TML, so I don't know about placement here, but certainly Osmos is going to have a difficult time dealing with this. Throwing down a land factory, I hope he has saved his research points to get that anti-missile unit. Sliptack is the UEF. I forget what the Aeon's anti-missile is called. Yeah, that factory shield covers the mass extractor, but nowhere near that TML, so it will be a little bit vulnerable here. We see a radar going down in the center, although that probably isn't going to last very long with that TML around. Oh, we have a transport over here, so Vanity does love his transports. And it looks like he's going to be trying to drop his commander into the back of Rainbow's base, I think. Meanwhile, yeah, that TML is going to target down the radar and then waste another shot on the radar because it's only going to take that one missile. Rainbows has, I think, caught up on planes, mostly because of that transport switch. Some AA going down over here as well. Rainbow's getting an excellent engagement right behind those planes and maintaining pretty decent engagement here. And it looks like, yep, Rainbow's going to be taking over on the air, but that transport has now come in and the commander is now in the base. Vanity is building a point defense right inside of Rainbow's base. This could turn into a huge disaster. The TML is doing a good job at buying time. Okay, so now, oh, there's slip tax. Okay, the slip tax are coming in. And, ooh, that's a capture, I believe, on the factory. That's pretty rude. I don't know what Rainbows is really going to be able to do to fight this off. Okay, a point defense under a factory shield, and I think outside the range of the Aeon point defense is good, but there's another Aeon point defense going up. Some good control Ks here, and man, this is tough. Another TML over here trying to take out Vanity's main base as well, but if there's another transport coming in, I'm guessing that's going to be loaded with engineers for the sacrifice capture. Vanity loves doing this, and everybody else hates it because it's such a dick move, but it is effective. Alright, so Rainbows has managed to take out that point defense. This point defense is going to go down to the TML, so that's nice. But these engineers are being extra rude over here, and again, fortunately for the good control Ks, they have not managed to steal a TML. And they, oh, sacrifice capture? What just happened? I'm so confused. How many sacrifice captures are going on here? Okay, so Carboom ends up with this engineer. There's still another one of Vanity's here, and he's still got that point defense, which will go down pretty soon, I think. Eventually, I don't know. More air going up for Carboom, although I don't know exactly what he's going to do with it at the moment. Research stations in the back for Osmos. That's definitely a good move. and Vanity continuing to wreak havoc in the back of Rainbow's base. Rainbow's is going to take out the transport, which is definitely a huge win. That kind of traps Vanity over here. He can't get out without just walking through, although it looks like maybe he has a clear path right up the center here. There's really not a whole lot to stop him. Okay, so that TML goes back up. Rainbow's is looking to make a land switch, maybe? It's hard to tell here. That one land factory might just be there for, protection, factory field and whatnot. Carboom's planes are now bombing Vanity's ACU. Oh, but Osmos's ACU is coming up the center here as well, and there's really just not a whole lot on the ground that Rainboom can do as a team. They're going to have to rely on these fighters, these fighter bombers rather, and there's just not really enough of them to do enough damage. Look, they've only got Vanity down to about a quarter health, and with Osmos coming up to support him, throwing down an AA tower, and then also with the heals, it's going to be really tough to fight off these two ACUs. I mean, that point defense definitely helps, and the TMLs can target down any structures that the ACUs might put down, and can also maybe target down the ACUs and slow down their healing because they've got to move around. But really, I think the TMLs have kind of done everything that they can do in this game at this point, other than just be defensive and take out this air tower, which just isn't going to do a whole lot for Rainboom. They really need a way to fight off, okay, gunships now. That's probably pretty good. Still going to be pretty difficult to fight this off on land, though. Carboom's got a few fighters just hanging out over there that really should be joining the bombing run here. Because, yeah, these ACUs are practically in his base, and okay, so this is a really aggressive move by the Aeon lovers here, and gunship's now joining the fight. More bombing, more healing. The healing, though, is not defeating the damage per second of all of this air. Rainbows really needs to move her fighters out of there or else they're going to get taken out in the explosion. It does look like Vanity will go down here, and that's going to leave Osmos on the back foot. Vanity goes down. Osmos has a pretty safe base back here, but doesn't really have anything to do to fight off this air, and slowly but surely it's going to chip away at his ACU health. And more gunships are going to join in, and he just doesn't really have anywhere to go at this point. I suppose he could tech up and try to get nanites. Nanites could heal him, but again, I don't know if he's going to be able to beat the damage per second, especially as these air factories are all producing again. Or I don't think they stopped at all, but they're producing. And okay, one air tower, two air towers. I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially with those TMLs just to come in and knock out the air towers super quick. TML's actually focusing on the commander though, and doing quite a bit of damage there. He didn't quite move fast enough to get away from that first one. Trying to put down a factory now for the shield. Meanwhile, we've got some MMLs traveling across the map, and there's really... Okay, so he's got the anti-missile, the slip tacks, but they're not very well positioned to protect his flanks here. He is moving now. And yeah, Osmos is continually having to move his ACU to dodge those TMLs. I'd actually like to see... Yeah, there we go. TML's focused on the buildings first. Because without buildings, he can't do anything. Osmos is just stuck here. He can't really move past those gunships. There's plenty of air here to snipe him out. This is really his only shot. Okay, we do see nanites there. He heals up. And there's the factory field as well. More gunships coming in, though. Tanks now taking out those MMLs. They do manage to get one mass extractor. Will they get a second before the tanks take them out? I don't think so. It's going to take more than one volley, and it gets one volley off, so this mass extractor is going to be quite low on health, but it will not go down. And meanwhile, Osmos' ACU is in big trouble here. He has absolutely nothing to defend against this air, and he has a long way to go to get back to his base. Lots of fighters here. Bombing runs are quite effective. The nanites still healing, but will it be enough to get him back to his base? He does have some mobile AA coming up. This might do the trick, but the nanite's still on recharge, and it's going to be a second before he can get another one. And I don't think he's going to make it. He's going to blow up here in the center. This is going to be it. All right. Well, very nail-bitey game one, if you ask me. That was a very aggressive and creative push up the center there, and I love to see it. We'll be back very shortly with game two to see which of these two teams will be going on to the losers bracket final. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. It is game two of our losers bracket round three between Rainboom and Aeon lovers. We'll go ahead and start off introducing players down here with the red Aeon commander. It is Rainboom, dropping down his eco. No indication yet as to what he's going to go for after that. Meanwhile, his teammate we have as the blue UEF commander, Rainbows and Unicorns, who has thrown down one quick air factory and already has a plane out. And that plane is going to go ahead and go scout. And together, these two are Rainboom. Across the map, their opponents. Starting off with the teal Aeon commander, it is main Cybran, main Cybran, main Cybran, aka Vanity. And Vanity's teammate, spawning in as the orange Aeon commander, it is Osmos. Osmos has thrown down a research station and an air factory, and I neglected to mention that Vanity's also thrown down 2 air factories. And together, these two are Aeon lovers. God, that sounds so dirty. Why did you guys have to name your team that? Ugh. Alright, well, it's hilarious, so I'll give you a pass. At any rate, we've got lots and lots of scouting going on here. So everyone's going to know pretty much what's going on, except Osmos has built a transport. And Rainbow's plane is not in range to see that on radar even, I think. So this is going to be a pretty nasty surprise, it looks like. Rainbows does lose Scout over there. Okay, so Rainboom is also going to go air, but it's a little bit slower air with a little bit more eco-focus here. I think that transport is just about finally going to show up on radar here, and plus there is a radar station now, so Rainbow's going to know something is coming. And based on the speed, we'll probably guess that it is a transport, but it has not reacted yet. Okay, here we go. This is the reaction. Plane's coming back. Yeah. Okay, Rainbows is in for a nasty surprise. Alright, so the transport will go down. Osmos is going to be stuck over here for a little while. He's throwing down a land factory for an aggressive play here. Meanwhile, it looks like Vanity is more or less in control of the sky on that side of the map. Rainbows has taken down that transport, has a little bit of air that can go and help out Rainboom to try to save him from this bombing, but it looks like there's a fair bit of air here, and I think only if they work together can they actually take this out. Rainboom does lose a mass extractor there. Meanwhile, another land factory goes down for Osmos right outside Rainbow's base. Rainbow's taking up a position on the outside of the base away from that factory, which I like. That TML is going to get a little bit of work done here. It does look like Rainboom has managed to chase off Vanity's air, at least for the time being. Vanity is throwing down an air tower towards the middle of that side of the map. And now MML's coming out. Oh, so rude. Okay. So Rainbows has to catch up a little bit on eco, it looks like, and okay, there we go. Mechs guns? Yeah, mechs guns. So that's a pretty good response to this. I like that. But it's not really going to help out with those MMLs, so probably the ACU is going to have to go push, or looks like maybe Rainboom's planes are going to come and help push that away. Not much going on back at Osmos's main base, or Vanity's for that matter. Vanity continues to push forward with the ACU, another aggressive play here. Really, both games so far, they have gotten right up in the faces of Rainboom with their ACUs, and that's excellent point defense placement. Rainbow's going to have a really hard time shooting at it or capturing it or anything like that. The factory TML will, I believe, prioritize the prioritizes the commander. Oh, that sucks. Commander does take a few hits to the face there, though. Meanwhile, Vanity continues to push forward and is right on Rainboom's doorstep here, and has a fair bit of planes Air Factory is now paused as another air tower is trying to get put down. Pretty good engagement for Vanity there, although because he's fighting against two players air, getting a good engagement is not as powerful as it otherwise could be. Another point defense goes up for Osmos over here. His commander's now down to half health, and he's got a little bit of AA over here to help out. Just one MML left. Not really going to be able to do a whole lot of damage there. Rainbows has done an excellent job of holding this off with a little bit of help from Carboom's bombers, and now MMLs of Rainbows coming out as well to help push this back. Really just a solid play from all four of these players. This is a scary push here, especially, oh, now there's a factory going up, so that shield could go down and really do a lot of work there as well. Yeah, I mean, Aeon Lovers got behind on the air game early in the game, and so they did the right thing. They pushed right up, but Carboom and Rainbows are also doing a very good job of holding this off and making sure that there's not too much danger of them losing their bases, and that especially Osmos can't just roll right in here and push right over. I am a little surprised that Vanity has not gone after these buildings right here. That radar in particular would be super easy to take out. Alright, Rainbow's doing an excellent job holding this off. But there are a number more MMLs coming into play here. And that factory does go down. Factory for a factory. Ooh. Commander continuing to face tank some of those MML shots, although moving now. And yeah, here we go. Okay, TML going up for Vanity, giving Rainboom a little bit of a taste of their own medicine from the last game. And that TML is very well positioned underneath the factory shield. It's got AA cover. So Osmos' push has failed here. He's getting pushed back, but Carboom is in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have any real way to transition into land-based anti-missile. His only real option here is to try and bomb out the TMLs. Now there's two of them, TMLs plural, and that's going to be pretty difficult with that factory shield and all that AA there. So I don't know what Osmos is going to do here, if he's going to continue to try and press or if he's going to retreat. I don't really see retreat as a very viable option for him unless he maybe pops out another transport and manages to sneak around. Because with all these planes here, it's going to be very difficult for him to move through any sort of open ground. Even with this AA here, it's not going to last very long. And the planes are just ignoring the AA, going straight for Osmos' ACU. He's down to about a quarter health now. So this aggressive push, again, might not work out for them, and Osmos down. Oh, and there he goes. Okay. That does take out most of Carboom's air with it, though. And there's still really no way to deal with this TML. I have not seen any sort of anti-missile from Rainbows here, and she's the only one with the land-based forces right now. Vanity's got a pretty buttoned-up position here, but he is spread thin across the map, so that air advantage, might now be the time to press that. I would not at all be surprised to see Rainbows start popping out. Well, there's bombers, but I would not at all be surprised to see gunships once again. Carboom not really doing much. He is trying to repair, but he's not going to be able to out-repair the TMLs. They just do too much damage. Alright, well, Rainboom has a lot more breathing room now, and Rainbows in particular could start expanding quite a bit more. We do see an engineer headed out to start doing just that. Not reclaiming along the way, though, which is a little unfortunate. Rainbow's commander is currently idle, and is that an idle factory as well? It is. Alright, well, again, Vanity's position here is stretched pretty thin. The air factories are now turned back on, so he's going to try and keep that air over his AA, I would imagine. Which is going to be a tough thing to do at this point. I mean, he can keep it over the AA, but then it's not doing any good. It's not out there bombing. It's not killing other planes. Those TMLs continuing to do a lot of damage onto Carboom's base, however. We do finally now see sharpshooters. That's what it is. We see the sharpshooters come in, and a few more of those should shut down these TMLs entirely, and then Vanity's going to have to find something else to do damage. He's got plenty of AA here. Still, is it going to be enough to defeat, Carboom's eventual Air Force once he rebuilds? More bombers popping out for Rainbows. Research station there. Oof. I thought those MMLs, or those anti-MMLs were doing pretty well, and then I guess some of the pathfinding made them retreat, and as a result, Carboom now has 0 factories. I'm actually kind of surprised that the sharpshooters aren't doing as well as it seems like they ought to. I guess positioning is probably a big factor. Pretty decent Air Force building up for Vanity back here. He has expanded to another air factory as well. A couple of research stations back there. Lots of ground base AA here. So this position is very safe, but how much can he really get done now that the anti-missile units are out? He's going to need to win back air, and that's going to be very difficult, I think. Although, if Carboom continues to lose factories and other buildings, then he's not really going to be able to maintain that air production very well. Alright, Rainbow's finally separating out the anti-missile from the rest of the army and sending the rest of the army in. There's quite a few mobile missile launchers here, and Vanity doesn't really have anything that shoots down other than his ACU and a point defense. So those missiles are probably going to get quite a bit done here once they break through the shield. And yeah, they've already almost taken out one of those TMLs. A little target fire would do it, but the shield's going to pop back up real soon. I think there's a good chance that ACU's been upgraded a little bit because it seems to be doing quite a bit of damage here. Oh, yeah, and there's the overcharge. Pretty devastating. And was that... Nope, Carboom's air is up here. Oh, all the air is up here trying to bomb. Rainbow's has done a really good job of expanding over here. Will it be enough, though? Overcharge is a difficult thing to defeat without experimentals or some other very long-range firing unit. Or like a lot of P shields, maybe? Carboom's base pretty much being left to rot there. Okay, factory shield is good. I don't know if I would have prioritized the anti-air tower, though. I think probably point defenses would be more important. Well, I guess, okay, she did get max guns earlier, so the research station and that mass extractor there would provide a good bit of coverage. Good splits. That bombing run did some damage, but not a lot. Seems like Rainbow's just wanted to trade out the bombers. And I think she's back to making wasps, but still only just out of the one factory. Carboom has not rebuilt any factories, doesn't have any mass extractors left on the map. Fortunately, there is no research sharing, or a resource sharing that I'm aware of in this game. Otherwise, Rainbow's huge economy could be fueling both of them. couple of research stations for Carboom, which is something we see a lot when main base has been destroyed. Okay, well I guess I'll just dump everything into my ACU then. And research stations certainly help with those upgrades. Vanity has completely taken over this side of the map now. This has really almost turned into a 1v1 between Vanity and Rainbows. Carboom can still get back into the game, but it's going to take a little while. Vanity continuing to play aggressively and pushing back on Rainboom. Although there's a fair number of tanks in this blob here. And again, nothing really that shoots down, no direct fire units in this blob. So I think they are going to manage to take out that research station, but then these tanks are going to come in and... Yep, Vanity's on the retreat. He knows he can't take that on. So Rainbows is back to the air production. Another air factory up there. Still only 2 versus now 5 7 air factories for Vanity. Alright, nice little field of research generators there for the point defense coverage. Okay, we do see another air factory there as well. Still not enough though. Gonna need a lot more air. And that's a ton of mobile missile launchers. Holy crap, look at that. Yeah, Rainbows doesn't really have a good way to turn this back. She can't really be aggressive and push because the ACU can overcharge. Carboom still just doesn't really have anything that he can do at the moment. Again, it's going to take a while before his ACU is upgraded enough to do much of anything. Rainbow's now taking overcharge to the face and down to half health already. But Vanity not focusing on the ACU with the planes, trying to take out the army instead. I think Vanity could have sniped there. Vanity now down to half health himself, but overcharge can't be that much further on the recharge here. And there's not really enough tanks to take... Yep, there it is again. Not really enough tanks to take him down before he got back to it. Alright, big air engagement here. Looks like Vanity's going to come out on top of that. Rainbows has a huge eco and just nothing to do with it right now. Still retreating here. Vanity has a huge air force and really could snipe at any time, and I think maybe here it comes. Nope, still going after the units. Manages to beat out the factory shield at least. Rainbow's now getting those nice heals from an engineer there. And I don't know what's up with these tanks. Just marching right on in. I mean, again, there's nothing that shoots down at them other than the ACU, but... Alright, so here comes the snipe on Rainbows then. And down into the red, I don't think... Ooh, Hunker. I don't think she's going to escape, though. There's too many planes. Yep. Any second now. Ooh, down to 1,000 health. That's a lot of AA, though. Under the factory shield, another Hunker probably. Yep, there's the Hunker, and... Yeah, the planes were attacking the factory shield first. Vanity knows what's up. Alright, well that's the end of Rainbows for this game, and Carboom is in some pretty big trouble here as well. He's about to get overcharged to the face. And down into the red. And yep, that's it. Alright, well very exciting game 2 here. And that ties up the score, so we're going to head to game 3. We'll be right back with that in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Alright, welcome back everybody. We are at game 3 here. Winner of this game will move on to the losers bracket final to face off against OSS for a chance at the grand final. You already know these people, but we'll go ahead and introduce them one more time. Spawning in here as the blue UEF commander, we have Rainbows and Unicorns in the air spot, throwing down a quick air factory. And Rainbow's teammate, Carboom, spawning in as the red Aeon commander, throwing down 3 quick land factories, and together they are Rainboom. And their opponents, starting with the orange Aeon commander with 3 land factories going up, it is Osmos. And his teammate spawning in as the teal Aeon commander, it is main Cybran main Cybran main, aka Vanity, with 2 quick air factories here. And of course the Russians speaking in their native tongue there. We have no idea what they're saying because Nite's not here to translate for us. Although if you're out there watching and you speak Russian, you might have known what they were saying. A few scouts being traded back and forth here, it looks like, and we've got Harvogs, very popular on this map. Yeah, Osmos making a very quick play for the center here. Carboom taking a little bit more time and getting his ecos set up. And Rainbow's also expanding into the back there. Rainbows will probably have a bit of an advantage in the air here. Let's see, do either of these... No AA on those Harvogs yet. No AA on those Harvogs yet. Good players do tend to save their research points, so we'll see. Sure that those AA upgrades will come out as soon as they are needed. And both teams just kind of sitting back at the moment, taking stock of their position and trying to feel each other out a little bit with some radars. Looks like Aeon lovers are going to make a very aggressive push once again with both ACUs down to the south. This, of course, has been spotted out, and Rainboom headed down there with their own bots and ACUs to meet this. So far, it does seem like Carboom and Rainbows have been focused a little bit more on eco and out-expanded their opponents. A little bit of a dance in the air here. It's always scary to see 2 ACUs coming up on your doorstep. I'm not so sure about this choice of route, though, because this is a pretty tight enclosed space here. None of the ACUs really getting... Oh, Carboom getting focused down pretty hard here, it looks like. And this is just one big mess of ACUs here. Carboom is in trouble. I think that Aeon lovers are just going to push this until Carboom explodes, and yet there it goes. Boom. Okay. They're both doing really well as far as health goes, whereas Rainbows is very low on health now and does not really have a whole lot that she can do to beat this. Wow, very, very fast game 3 here. Aeon lovers managed to pull it out with a very aggressive ACU push, and they take the series 2-1. So that will put them in the running to face OSS in the next round, and whoever wins that will move on to the finals. So sit tight, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that next game for you guys.
If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.